friends, and welcome back to Puddin's Fab Shop. Have you been watching the Puddin's Fab Shop YouTube channel? Perhaps would you like to watch ad-free? I sure would. Well boy, do I have good news for you. Hey, what is it? 100% of Puddin's Fab Shop content, including the main and second channel, will now be available completely ad-free on Patreon. Don't worry guys, the content's gonna stay right here on YouTube as well. Just hear me out. That's right guys, for a small monthly fee, you'll have full access to ad-free Puddin's Fab Shop content, plus some little kind of behind the scenes stuff I can throw on over there, because over there, analytics do not matter. What's that? Why am I doing this, you ask? Well, to be 100% transparent, it's a better, more direct way to support me and my family, guys. Just like when I told you buying merchandise supports us directly, going through the Patreon could help support us directly. Directly. There's a T in there. In fact, I talk more about this in a video that's available to watch completely for free on Patreon right now. The link's in the description below. This video explains several things, some of the numbers behind this decision, why I almost shut down my second channel this week, how some recent changes has not only affected me but other channels such as Sleeper Dude and Mortski Repair. In that video I really try to break it down for you guys. For those of you who choose to go over there and support us that way, I cannot thank you enough. And for those of you who's watching right here going, I don't give a damn, I also cannot thank you guys enough for being right here on the YouTube channel. Content's still going out here. It has always gone out here. It will continue to go out here. But let's just say a certain platform has been diversifying. So me, myself, I'm also gonna diversify. So if you feel inclined, please check out that video, and I hope y'all enjoy this one. You're gonna get to see me get a few stitches, and it's a gooder, folks. Howdy doody, and welcome back to Puddin's Fab Shop. Come on, Theodore. Today, we are back on Dad's flatbed duvet. And in the last video, we did a carburetor swap on this baby, and we started to make her a dump bed. Well, we didn't start, we did. She successfully dumps, all right? But today, we're gonna put a little manipulation in the situation because we're about to change some stuff up, folks. Good boy, Theo. So, to start this video, I'm gonna address two things from the last video. Address number one, the factory carbureting machine. We put a Weber on this sucker, and then we tried to get it running, and it wouldn't run because that wire was bad to our ignition, to the coil or whatever. And people said, you just did a carb swap for nothing. That is not true, guys. The truck was parked because the carburetor's a piece of crap, and then that wire happened to go bad as it'd been sitting, obviously. At the end of the last videos, when I first got this thing running and driving and we had it down back at Dad's, it left us down there, and it was because the carburetor was messing up as well. I had to tear into it with a screwdriver. This was a piece of crap. It still is a piece of crap, and it will continue to be a piece of crap. She's no good except for a wheel shock. She needed the carburetor, guys. Addressee number two. Let's get this baby dumping. It was also brought to my attention that some people seem to think that this cylinder right here is full of air and that I shouldn't be using air. And I agree, I should not be using air, but not because that cylinder is full of air. The air just pumps the hydraulics. That is a hydraulic cylinder, guys. I noticed there's some kind of misunderstanding on that. It's like our bottle jack here. We can pump this by hand, hydraulic, or you can pump it with air, but it's still just pumping the hydraulic where you don't have to do it by hand. Either way, what's actually doing the lifting force is hydraulic. We're gonna replace that. Not because I think that was a bad idea. The bad idea part was not testing to see how much air was required to be able to stroke that cylinder out. As far as using a super heavy duty 8-ton long ram, hydraulic ram to dump that is a good idea. it's just gonna take a lot of air. If y'all remember at the end of the last video, I calculated it and I said a minimum of 10 gallons. I was actually thinking we'd need around 12 gallons. And right here, I have two 6-gallon air tanks. The problem is, I don't want to fit all of that. Now, I would still like to put one 6-gallon air tank on here and one compressor just where Dad can have mobile air since it's a little work truck. And that other 6-gallon tank will probably end up on our Lodestar where we can have mobile air since it's a flatbed. But I started looking at everything else to get enough compressors or start messing with the engine-driven compressor, blah, blah, blah. That thing takes forever to dump. I agree with you guys. This was gonna be a really good way to do it cheap because I had all that crap. Last video we spent not much money at all to get that to that point. The thing is though, with the prices of stuff on Beaver, I got a damn ram and a 12-volt hydraulic unit. Now all we need is hoses for like $300 or $400, which is cheaper than buying even a new set of compressors for this. And I think in the long run, doing a setup like that, besides coming down to being cheaper, I think it's gonna be less problematic. So with all that being said, this go around, we're about to start mounting our new ram, figuring out how to get it on there. We've got to figure out how to get our hydraulic unit on there to get it then functioning. We're gonna have to get some hoses made. We still got a fuel cell sitting right here that we need to get on there somewhere. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have a running, driving around, functional dump bed that we can put to work. Oh! And I think some of y'all's crazy because some of y'all thought I was getting underneath this without stands. And I have not got underneath this bed without stands. So let's get this baby braced up and we'll start figuring out how to swap our cylinder. Nice little quick release feature. Yeah. Out with the old. And unfortunately, to go in with the new, it's gonna be a little difficult because, like I said, these are not the same style of mounts, okay? So our fabrication on our mounts we did last time does us no good. That's why they call me Willie Redo, because will he redo it? Yes, he will. Center to center looks like 44 inches. So that was centered down there. 44 comes plumb up to there. Woo, she's gonna be a tight fit. We can cut this out of here. And unfortunately, we got to cut those off of there because we're going to need all the room we can get. Woo! Woo! Morksky, I am your father. I don't know nothing about Star Wars. I bet I didn't even sound a thing like Darth Tater. Subscriber seen my torch struggling on the second channel and sent me out the sweet Victor he had. I think he said he's retired from them now. We appreciate it. Let's put this baby to work, see how she does. Woo, she finicky. No! All my hard work down the drain. Woo! Oh, don't mind me. Cross members out. I nailed on a piece of slag. That burnt. Got some thick mamas right here, so we're gonna give her a little preheat. Get her a little warmed up here, perhaps. All right, little flap attack, and we'll get the rest of that cleaned up because we're gonna have to mount in there again. Looks like I didn't manage to burn a hole in this cross member, That's because she's pretty paper thin. This crap's so rusty. That's over a 1/2 inch of metal gone. Let's figure out our new ones. Now we've made it to a point where we're gonna have to do a parts run, and here's why. This bore for this mount is 1 inch. I wasn't sure how wide it is. It's 2 1/4. So we either gotta get a 1 inch bolt or maybe a 1 inch pin for like receiver or something. I don't know, or like for tractor type stuff. And we can cut 2 tabs and we can try to get a 1 inch hole. I don't have a 1 inch drill bit. Or this should be an ID of 1 inch as well. Y'all seen us use this to build the rear hinges, 1.5 inch, 1/4 inch thick DOM. So depending on what length pin we could get, we could cut some chunks of those and build a whole little hinge setup. And then utilizing that perfect hole, I don't have to drill one. Chris, I think I was working my eyebrows. That was really weird because as I was tapping right there, I couldn't feel if I was doing anything. So if I was tapping them, or if my eyebrows were doing that, zoom in on it. I guess since we're working on Toyotas, we'll take the best looking Toyota in the game right now. Found us a jack to add to the side of that Toyota bed. Right here's what we're looking for. 4.5 inch, 1 inch. Right there, 7.5. We'll take one of those big mamas. Check out that hog, guys. This is coated in something, and I think that's keeping that from going in there, so we may be stripping that down. Let's try to file down this edge just a hair to make sure that ain't what's got her, though. Nope, it's definitely whatever that coating is. Whoever thought it was smart to coat a 1 inch pin with some 1/8 inch thick powder coat was not doing the math. If this is supposed to fit in a 1 inch hole, it ain't gonna fit when you put that much on her. That's starting to fit now though. Y'all see that? Finished polishing our pin there. Our channel up there is 5 inches wide, so I'm gonna put 2.5, which is 1/2 of 5, right at the center of that grease zerk. And then if we go from that edge over 1 3/8 inches is what we need. 1 3/8 inches piece on this side and this side will give us an overall width of 5 inches. 1 3/8 inches. Sauce it. Shoo doggy. That's already turning out better than the last one. That's pretty close to 5 inches. Gonna get fancy, put a grease zert on her. Skip. Purdy. Little digging in the scrap cabinet. Got some, looks like 2 inch wide, 1/2 inch thick. And then we got some little 3/4 inch wide, 1/8 inch thick. Dang marker. Holy cow. I got the 4-piece marker right there, folks. Thick stuff, 5 inches. That's right, guys. 5 inches is enough as long as it's thick. If it ain't thick enough, it's gonna be all flexible. It's gonna bend where you don't want it to bend, and that ain't no good for nobody. And I am talking about building hinges still. I don't know what y'all was thinking about. Clean that up, clean these up, and I cut us some short pieces, same length as those, and I clean them up. We're gonna weld that to the bottom of that, and then that to that where that elevates it, and then that should have room to pivot in there without rubbing, in theory. Whoop. Just kind of use the eagle eye here and line everything up. Them little pieces create a gap in there. Of course, we'll fill that up with weld, build her up nice and thick. I'm gonna crank the heat up and burn her in. All right, baby. I'll be honest, just being able to lay one nice hot weld in there, that'd probably never go nowhere. I'm probably still gonna build it up with a couple passes. Just makes me feel better. Right there's a couple more passes get you. She's slick Willie. Youch! That didn't go well. I was about to show y'all, turn on the camera. I lubed up our things, went to drive that in. I was hammering at that piece of pipe and it bounced off there, and I guess it just, not the edge, I just hit the top of my thumb. Woo, I split open pretty easy. Am I seeing Tweety birds, or is that, y'all seeing those, or is that just me? Yucky, that blood gets me every time. What's funny is I think my bone is what split me up through there. I think I hit it right on the bone, and that somehow just sheared the skin in between there. Woo! I need to go get help from my wife. But if I do, she's gonna tell me to go get stitches. That being said, it is bleeding pretty dang good. Yeah, it ain't stopped one bit. Woo! All right, I gotta drink some water. Excuse me. Clearly, our hinges were building. The heat in those warped it some because that pin, it moves, I can spin it, but driving it through, it's not happy. And that's just from that being such a precise fit in that tubing, I guess. It'd be nice if we had some type of 1-inch bit that we could like bore through there now to make sure it's perfectly in line. Golly, she's soaking this thing. Golly, I better go get some help. Well, here we sit in urgent care. They just numbed me up because they are going to put stitches in it.
You said you could feel it up here?
Yes, ma'am.
What's wrong with some of these needles?
They're bad.
They are.
Get me the good needle.
Yeah, press.
I'll get that bad one out of here.
Yeah, let me try a different.
That's crazy. I gotta go.
Is this going to be better than the electrical tape I was going to use?
Yeah.
Because I put some super glue in it. I was like, oh my gosh, Jacob.
The worst part is, guys, they said they're going to splint me up. So I get to work one-handed the rest of the week. I'm going to bust this sucker back open.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yep, 3 stitches. They put it in this splint with about 1,000 other wraps. My hand was dang wrapped in crap that big by the time I left. That ain't going to cut it for me. 10 days till I take the stitches out. They said don't be bending that thumb, so we got a Lego hand. They told me just go elevate it, you know, rest. Just take it easy this evening. Yeah, sounds good. Let me get my trusty hammer here, which I should have been using in the first place. See, my theory is because I smacked that with a round piece, it concentrated all the force right there because that's round. So wherever that hit, it got all that weight. If you smack something with a hammer, it distributes it. I think that's why that managed to split me open so easy. This pin is way more solid than I want it. And this is me relaxing. We could be doing a lot more work than what we're gonna do. Just imagine I smack this sucker. All right, we need that to be a little better. And since when it comes to like blood and injuries, I'm a baby. You know what you do with children when they get hurt. You want a treat or you want a prize to make you feel better? So when my wife asked me that, I said, yes. Will you take me by Harbor Freight? And I noticed there they have a set of bits from 9/16 to 1 inch. I've needed these for a long time. And for 50 or 60 bucks, I should have bought them a long time ago. So I'm hoping that this sucker will be long enough that we can run it through one. Well, I bet we can get it bored enough to free up on that pin some. If this was longer and we could go through both of them at the same time, that would be ideal. But sometimes things aren't ideal. I can already tell this is gonna go so good. Imagine that gets wrapped up in it. Whoa! Just rips the whole thumb off. There we go. Got a little. Couple turns on her that time at least. All right. This is not going good at all. My wife told me, don't you be out there working. We got bad storms coming in, Oklahoma stuff, tornado talk, crap like that. So I just got to put all the cars up. Just need to put the cars up and drill this part out so I can sleep tonight. All right. I thought this was gonna be a lot easier than what it is, guys. Play number 2, little sandy thingy. Hey, that's working. It's at least polishing it in there. You don't even need that drill bit, guys. All I did was use that little sander, and she's about worn out by the time I did that one. Quick little touch up there, and look, that's all she needed. I never use these, but I do keep them for a situation like this. So I'm gonna polish on this one a little more. I think we'll be good. Mama ain't looking for me, is she? No. She say anything about Dad working? No. You seen nothing. Morning. Guys, we're going to continue on. This time we're just building a hinge for down here. Pretty much same thing. This is a little wider, and we can go a little bigger on this side. Luckily for some of this fabricating, I still have a good solid left hand, aka this vise that can just hold stuff for me. Repeat process of yesterday, guys. Finished welding this one up. Safe to say we got less distortion or penetration maybe. So I don't know if that's good or bad, who knows? This pin don't need a beating, but since we're building it the exact same, let's get that. Let me hold this and we'll beat on it. Just playing. We let our pieces cool down. And guys, I guarantee y'all this new hinge system is way stronger than our old setup. This first hinge we built, I made it too tight. There's no slack in there, and I actually wanted there to be slack in there, so we're gonna trim this down. Just slicing off a very thin amount there, like a precise chef cutting up some onions. Now, I wanted to have a little bit of slack in there for a little deflection, because this is a much stronger style hinge, but it's also a more precise one, which means there ain't really a lot of play, and that thing is not perfect. And if we have all this super tight, then we have to get it on the truck absolutely perfect so we don't create bind as we go to lift. Now there is a little deflection because this is slightly larger than our 1 inch, come to find out. So there is a little bit of play there, which is good. And the goal with putting a bigger gap there is that it can utilize some of that, because before that could not move one bit, but now it can, which means we get a little bit of forgiveness on each ends. So my plan is to obviously butt the hinge up over here somewhere where that is burnt through. Boom, look what I found in the scrap cabinet. A little wider than that. So I think we can just cut this down some where we can slide that up over there, and we'll weld that into place. Instead of using a tape measure, we'll use a real precise way of just setting that in place and marking it right there. Kind of eagle eye center, that'll work. UGLY. I ain't got no alibi. They ugly. Yeah, they ugly. Ugly welds, but I'm trying to keep my left hand away from there as much as possible. And I think that sets us up for a hinge. Yeah. There's saving my strength. So for this, guys, I don't know what to do besides just to square it up to what we got and hope that this bed was built square enough to everything else to just work. Like I said, the old mounting system was a lot more forgiving than what we got. So I'm hoping I can set this on the drive shaft down there and then flip that up about like so. I can already tell we're gonna have to take the greases out of the ram side of things, which is fine because it has plenty of play. I gotta figure out which way to index this is gonna perform best. Put our hinge in there at an angle. Gonna go ahead and give us a little weld up top, just kind of as a big tax. You can see that leaves us a gap to be able to weld down on the bottom. For now, we're gonna leave that. That also braces that corner, which should make that super strong. And strong is good. What's not good is that now, to figure out where to put that, we actually need to kind of drop this sucker down and pick that up and see where it's gonna land. And I think it's gonna be way up there, which is good because there's hardly nothing in the way where we need to probably build a cross member to mount that to. And also we need to find a way to safely raise and lower this, which I don't know if y'all remember last week, using the lift was going super good. It only fell off there like 4 times. To move her forward, I say let's stress them hinges and see how strong they are. In theory, we should be able to set that down on that. That'll bind. We can lower these down and then move the truck forward, and we're gonna use the lift again. I'll hop in here a little baling wire where we can pick this ram up out of the way. And just right there, I can tell our grease zerk up there is gonna hit. I was hoping we'd get lucky and she'd clear, but that ain't gonna happen. That ram's loosey-goosey to the pin, so she don't need no grease. Cylinder's out of the way. Let's bring the bed down to play. I got the weight off that side. Come on, baby. Drop it down for me. Drop it low, girl. Drop it low, girl. Sounding a little questionable back there. She can't hardly drop anymore. Jeez Louise. Going up. So last week I made this mistake. I'd left the sucker in gear and it don't allow the truck to move as that lift does its job. So it's pushing the clutch taker out of gear, and I'm gonna ease off the brake. All right, didn't move us too much. And now that should roll the truck forward about like so, allowing us to lift safely. Safely. All right, blocks are out. Let's lower her down. Load off. So if we crawl up underneath here, kind of look at where our cylinder's at. Ooh, guys, we're gonna get lucky. It didn't go as far forward as I thought it was going to. Looks like we got a pretty decent angle on that ram as far as when we start lifting or applying pressure. Or let me educate you. Pumping fluid does not make pressure. Resistance makes pressure. You could pump all the hydraulic fluid you want, but if there's nothing to stop it and create resistance, you're never gonna get pressure. So pump don't create pressure. I don't know why I'm going on a hydraulic spill right now. So that's at a good angle to start lifting though. That's what creates your resistance right there. And just eyeballing that, that looks about like the right height where we can bring another piece of 2x3 tubing and just set it about right here, straight across there, and be able to set that hinge right on there. Easy peasy. Yes! And with the stroke of this cylinder, I don't remember what our last one was, like 24. This one's like 36. We're gonna be able to get this baby to a 90-degree dump. We're gonna be able to strap weight to the back and go pull wheelies with this sucker. Hell yeah. Got our lift maxed out. Stuff like this will kill you. Plain and simple. It ain't gonna be a little brace on your hand. If you're underneath this thing and this falls and you're between that and that frame rail, you're getting chopped in half or crushed or something. So don't play around with stuff like this. I know I like to have a good time, but you will not catch me underneath this without at least 2 forms of something holding it. Pull our lines out of the way, and we got a little weld to clean up right there to flatten that out, and obviously a lot of rust. Let's just get that out the way. Nice and clean, looking mean. Got her up in the air, and this is the part where I thank you guys for being here and watching, where we can have things like lifts in our life now. You'll see me use this on a couple of our Toyotas so far. This was metal that was laying all over this land when we bought it. Had a good handful of pieces, 1/4 inch thick, 2x3. And in the last go around, we discovered this stuff is just coincidentally cut the perfect length of what we need. And if I slide that right into place, you'll see what I mean. Hey, looky there. If we could butt up to that and weld that, that'll box all that together, make that nice and strong. Looks like we can do that. We can weld it here on the back side then. Obviously, we'd be able to weld it on the front side too. So we need to clean up here. We need to clean up the ends of our pipe here, all here, and roughly all in here. Everything's cleaned up, ready for some welding. Just a little for now as we get everything mocked up. Luckily that's pushed up against those that are full welded. So, I mean, that makes her nice and secure anyhow. That'll be super strong when full welded. Next up, we'll look at positioning our little pivot here, our little pivot Rooney. I thought I didn't need this little thumb brace they put on there, and I'm so glad they put it on there because I've hurt this thumb multiple times a day trying to grab stuff, and it starts to pull them stitches. And I guarantee y'all, if I didn't have that thing in there that's keeping this nice and stiff, I definitely would have pulled them out by now, which is why they told me I had to have it anyhow. All right, so y'all see how much play we have in this now over that long period, or that long of a stretch, where before, like I said, that was tight, it had 0 play. Well, then we got play down here too. So really we just need to do our best to find the middle where that moves nice and easy. I don't know if this hole's drilled in the center. If so, that we'd need to line it up there, but I guarantee you it's not. Well, actually, hold on, let me figure out here. Right there's all the way that away, right there's all the way that away, so and just something right there in the center where it's relaxed is what we're after. So I'm gonna eyeball that to center. Then I'll eyeball that to center. About 18 1/4. So we can go a 1/16 that away with the hinge. That should give us 18 3/16. That's perfect right there. Weld it. Little no-look welding right there. Can't see diddly. Full weld those ends. That should be strong enough to cycle this sucker. But if for some reason we need to cut that off, those will be easy enough to cut too. Which is good, because we might be cutting them. I noticed after lowering that port is too close to that to put a line on there. So that ain't no big deal. We can just flip the cylinder upside down. But look over here. If we flip it upside down, I think we're gonna be hitting right there. Dang it. Or she may just clear. Let's flip it. That's why we made her the quick release option. Woo, thank goodness. I mean, that's as low as that has to go. I think as long as we put a 90 type right there, we're gonna clear. Thank you, Lord. I really didn't want to have to be notching that or cutting that and raising it or anything like that. Guys, this is gonna work out so much better. Don't worry about that distance because we got a carrier bearing right here. So even if this traveled way up here, it would have to travel a lot for that to ever become an issue. Before, with our cross member right here though, it eliminated any chance of us being able to fit the fuel cell in here. It was just it was right in a bad place. Well, with that cross member up there all the way, I think we have a chance now of fitting our fuel cell back in here, which that makes me happy. Fuel cell's 29.5 inches, guys. We could use this factory mount if we wanted. Only thing is, she runs at an angle, and I'd rather sit it flat, so we'll probably cut that off there. We can definitely sneak the fuel cell in here. Up next, let's open up our little hydraulic unit. I still ain't looked at it. Hopefully it's what we need, and we'll kind of figure out where we've got room for it. See what we're working with here. DC 12 volts. Looks like she pulls 16 to 20 amps. I got a 6 quart, which I'm hoping's enough. I did a online calculator for the bore size and the length, and it told me the volume, and I want to say it came up with like 4.4 quarts the cylinder could hold at full stroke. So 6 should be enough for keeping a little in the reservoir and a couple in the or a little bit in the hoses. Let's get this bad girl on the bench. All right, so as y'all can see, we've got our reservoir, we've got the electric motor. Right here is going to be your pump. Off of it, we've got a couple solenoids for valves that are built into this sucker as well. It is double acting up and down. And then we want to check all connections apparently, because that crap's nice and loose. But right there you've got your solenoid that actually powers up the little electric motor. And there's quite the reach on this sucker here, which is this your up and down. We're going to have ports. Luckily they labeled that for us, down. So that's your down. That means over here's your up. And it even looks like these have an adjustable flow control in them. So if it's going too fast for you, you should be able to loosen that jam nut right there, tighten that or loosen it, you know, depending on what you're trying to do. And we can set that, which is nice. Got your feel, so that lets us know we need to mount it like that right there. I don't know if we have anything for mounting it. I did notice in here we got a couple fittings. It already came with some like number 6 fittings. So I guess this is so you can change if you want to, maybe. I mean, as long as she functions good, overall, that's a sweet little unit. Takes up less room than 1 air tank, much less 2 air tanks. And then start thinking about air compressors and all that crap, guys. This is gonna be way more gooder. Torch it! Yeah. We can just hack that right off. Well, shit the bed, Fred. I'm out of angle iron, so we're gonna build our own. I think 12.5 inches would be perfect. Well, I found this piece of 3-inch wide right here, and it happens to be 25 inches. So if we cut that in half, we're gonna get our 12.5. She's a little bent, but just pretend like you don't see that. We'll cut a piece of this, which is only 2 inches. We'll build our own angle iron. First, I'm gonna massage that till it lays a little flatter here. That's better. Oh, woo! Nice little hot piece of metal shot. Nailed me right in the armpit. Boy, did that feel good. Jig that up on the vise. Getting jiggy with it. Just weld that puppy on the outside. That should be strong enough, especially if we cap the end with something. Got her set up right here on the very expensive jig table. This is proper jigging right here. We've got a couple of cutting discs in here to create some gap. Make sure we got about a 1/4 inch sticking out the back on each side. And then just push those pieces up into the corner. Stop her into place right there with your old drill, you know, and she's ready for some tack welding. Oh, dummy. I put that there And I wasn't planning on cleaning up that crap, but our tank's probably gonna rub against that. So yeah, I probably do need to clean that up. Dang it. That's what I get for trying to save a little time. And this frame still has some flex and wiggle to it, so I'm going to set our fuel cell in here and then position it and tack it. About right in there is what I'm after. Yeah, baby! Since we've got this rig, we've got a fuel cell in her, gas tank in her for the first time. Up next, we need to whip up a quick and simple hold down method. I'm gonna do a single strap across the center. I don't think it's gonna take much to hold that sucker in there. I'm gonna cut some of this stuff, and then we're gonna kind of do a 90 on it. We're gonna drill a hole, and then we'll strap across the top. Let me show you. Gonna come a 1/2 inch back from that edge, and we're gonna split that in half. Nice and simple. Got an eagle eye right down the middle. Come on, baby. Come on. Go. The locking plier on that side. That way we can line it up on this side. Just cut a snare piece to length, a couple holes. I marked that where we can ground on it, where it'll clear that weld just a little better. Woo, that sits down nice. That fits nice, and I didn't even have to do it twice. That's 3, but to be fair, I can't put that thumb down, dang it. Now we could put a little like chunk of rubber in between there to help clamp that, and then that'll help hold it in place too. Guys, I'm happy with that. Next up, let's mount our little hydraulic unit. Flipped her over, found some holes on the bottom, got a 3/8 hole down there. And guess what? Our old scrap cabinet ain't quit failing me yet. This thing's about the perfect width and length. Time to do some sketchy doo-dah, doo-dah. So close. Yeah, that material's too thick for that saw. We can bring her home with the slice and dice though. Center to center, 3 1/4. So we'll divide that by 2, which should give you 1 5/8 inches. So we'll mark center on this, and then from center, we'll go out 1 5/8 inches. This is 14 1/2. We want to go at least there. So let's go 2 inches from the end. 1 5/8 inches, 1 5/8 inches. Perfect. Now we want these ones precise, so we're going to mark them with our Springer Dinger. Oh, and by precise, I mean I'm going to step them out with a Harbor Freight drill bit, a little oversized where we got some play. And burn up our drill bit along the way. There she went. Cut us a piece 3 inch wide and weld it on there. Now that can bump up to our cross member hopefully and drop down. Then we'll have to figure out how to support it at the back. Something like that's what we're after. We want plenty of room between this side and our tank or our frame rail, so don't hug it super close. I'm gonna say we go for about 7 1/2 inches if possible. Going from the center, from the frame rail edge over 7 1/2. That puts us right in there. Get her clamped up. I want to make sure it's just a little bit above the bottom of the frame so the frame will hit the ground before this ever will. I think we're in a good spot right there, guys. Tack it. Now we got a diving board in case a possum ever wants to crawl up in here. Well, they're tightened down. I think height-wise we're going to be good with everything. We just got to figure out how to support the back of her. Her old booty just bounces too much. She got that old badonka-donk. I cut this strap to be our support, and I kind of mocked her up underneath there. We need to brace it out to about right there. So as you can see, I very accurately put a mark there. And this precision work I do knows no limits. So next, we can take a speed square and set it there. And mark that. I know it looks like I'm trying to make some abstract machete, but we're just using that straight edge to line that up for us. Let's weld it. Now all this stuff we're gonna leave her tacked in for now. That looks good. That's gonna be nice and solid there. Like I said, everything's tacked. We don't want a full commit until we get everything hooked up and take it for a function check. Which, speaking of, with that mounted, we're kind of to the point where we need to figure out our hoses and fittings, and I don't have anything for that. I'm gonna have to kind of, I guess, call around and see if I can locate somewhere to build us some. Well, trouble in paradise. This cylinder was advertised to have SAE number 6 port, just like the hydraulic unit. But when I take this plug out of the cylinder and this fitting out of the little hydraulic unit, I don't know if the camera will really show it, but that plug is definitely bigger than that. Even though they're supposed to be the same size. So that being said, I ain't got a clue what I have. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, pal. Call y'all pal, get angry with y'all. What you looking at, pal? So for now, let's keep trucking along with what we can do here. I think we need to drop the bed back down. We'll just check for clearance. As long as that is all good to go, then we can lock in the fuel cell and we can start hooking up those lines. And holy cow, how many doors I got open here. I'm trying to be one of those guys who flips his toolbox and get all that weight hanging out there. I don't have the plug completely out of the bottom one. I just got her cracked where it'll let the air out. So I don't know if that's what's sounding like a little moped underneath there or what. All I do know is she sat down, and by golly, clearing is clearing. Guys, look at that. Look at all that space. Just perfect. Just perfect. Oh my goodness, this is so much better than what it was gonna be the other way. Check her out over here. Look, guys. I mean, it literally couldn't work out any better than this pert near. That cross member being up there was just money. She's welded. Oh, things should be pretty solid now. We let that sucker cool down. I started looking at our lights here, and we don't exactly have what we need. I forgot that Toyota has its own stop, like the brake light wire, and its own turn signal wire, where like a lot of the old Chevrolets will share that bulb. So I'm just used to doing crap like that. So if we ground this here, our blue one is our reverse lights, our brown one is our running light, and our red one is our stop light. So all that means is our blue one is now no longer a reverse light. We're gonna have that custom white LED blinker, baby. Pretty sure they're supposed to be red or ember, whatever that color's called. White LED's close enough. So next we gotta figure out where to put these things. I don't wanna go way out here. I think that's too wide. Even though if we did go out there, that little running light right there would then be useful, I guess. I kind of think tucked up like right there looks pretty good. We could put a little weld on her there and a little weld up in this corner and she'd probably hold. The only thing I don't like about that is that sticks out. Nice little sharp edge. So if we slip that over where that can go flush, we could put them right there. I think that'll work. We'll put a tack in this corner and this corner. And then a little weld up in there. That baby's pretty stinking solid. I can roll the truck with it. And she don't look terrible from back here. Good enough for a dump bed work truck. Lucky guess on mounting that one. I did not know this one came with the license plate mount. I guess it ain't a lucky guess. You just face this outwards, dummy. I was gonna say, if we had put that one on this side, which, well, no, you could flip it over. So yeah, lucky guess. If we'd flipped that one over and put it on this side first, then we couldn't flip this one over and put it on that side. So we got lucky. First, I thought I was lucky. Then I thought I was a dummy. Then I realized I was being a dummy, thinking I was a dummy, and I realized we really did get lucky. Shoot, that'll work. That'll work. Well, I found the hardest thing to do so far today. Dang wiring. Hardest thing to do because of my hand, I mean. To shorten our ground and add that one for the outside running light. And since these are now grounded because we welded them to everything else, I'm gonna just wrap these on the back side and put a self-tapper in them. This is where having the robot thumbs holding me back here. Very nice. Now with her grounded, let's go turn on our running lights and we can start deciphering this Toyota wiring. I should have this crap memorized after the past year, all the Toyotas we've been messing with. But I can't even remember what I did yesterday. There's running lights right there. Found it, first one. All right, here's the lucky winner. Voila, running light. Now for our brake lights, I like to take a adjustable hood prop rod and push it on the pedal, and I'll wedge it between the seat. Damn genius, I tell you. And according to this, our wiring is not working. Oh, hold on, there's another one down there. Nope, that ain't it neither. 17 damn wires, none of you want to give me power, huh? I squeezed up underneath the dash, found the switch, kind of cycled it a couple times, wiggled the wires, hoping they would just be maybe a bad connection in there. No luck. So let's get up in there and see if we can do a little prodding around. Pretty tight fit up underneath here, guys. Oh yes, I've seemed to found our problem. The classic Bluetooth wire connection. So that's what plugs onto our switch, and it looks like at some point the rats got us. Luckily there's a duct right in the way. Somewhere up in here has got to be the rest of that. Oh my goodness, can y'all see it? It is right up there in the big old harness. I mean, it's just flush with the big old bundles of wires. Golly, that damn rat cut her flush. Little sons of you-know-whats. Whew. Let me wire up them taillights real quick. The Toyota instead had a plan of whipping me, guys. It's one of them jobs where you lose 30, 40 minutes for 2 wires that you weren't expecting. But I managed to get some butt connectors on them. Had to cut her out of the harness and pull them out. But it still didn't leave very much working room up in there. Dang it, and I wore my splint clean out. Well, dang it. We still ain't got any. I'm hoping this is our problem. I know that one wire was hot because as I was trying to hook her up, She hit some metal and she sparked. I didn't think it sparked hard enough or contacted hard enough to pop a fuse. I didn't hear it pop a fuse, but that fuse is definitely blown. Here we go, round 3. Should be this wire right here with the white. Survey says, booyah! Finally got them. And that means the yellow is gonna be our blinker here. I'd say we got blinker. The only problem is with that being white, I'm afraid when that sun shines on that, I ain't even gonna be able to see it. So we're gonna end up having to swap damn lights. Yeah, with the sun shining on that sucker, you can't even see it one bit. Well, dang it. Pulled our gasket, pulled our light just where I could see. We're gonna have to get something else for that. 6 o'clock, and these lights just whipped me, guys. You win some, you lose some. I was not expecting to lose that time up underneath the dash. And that just put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. Still happy with our progress for today. For gimp handing it, not too shabby. New day, new me. Worthless. That's worthless. Went looking for some tail lights that were a 4-wire, and they just don't exist, guys. Not local to me anyhow. So I picked up just a couple LED ones. These mount a little different. So let's get that looking like this. Get her cleaned up, and then we're gonna start laying this out. Now this stuff's thick, like 3/8. Here's the layout, 6 inches over. Hold a light right into place, mark center, find center of that, punch that sucker. Now from the edge of that, I went over 1 inch and then repeat process. Drill those out to 3/4. A little deburr where that edge don't cut the wire in. Looking GUD. Drill some pilot holes, and then we're gonna drill them out a little more and tap them. 1/4 Now you may be thinking, hey Puddin, ain't that a little big? And the technical answer is yes, because that hole right there does not fit a 1/4 inch bolt. However, I like to snappity tappities apparently, so we're just oversizing it. This is where good cutting fluid's your friend, guys. And patience, but I don't have that. Now this is probably a terrible place to put these, since this is gonna be a dump bed and stuff will slide off and boop. Don't worry about function, let's worry about look. That looks awesome. So we'll try to protect them a little bit by building an inadequate shield here. I'm gonna rough us out a piece here, and step 1, we're gonna try to match our bend of the other side about a $1.05 degrees. Yeah, went a hair too far. Fixed it. Using our end lines as our reference points for the bends. So we'll mark that one and go bend it. Whoop! Huh? Whew! Trim her down, let's round some corners. Add a little support, send it home. Hubbity, hubbity. When I was doing this side, I smacked this. Y'all see how that moves? Yeah, that probably shouldn't be doing that. So as that cools, I'm gonna grind some of this and we'll get it welded. Y'all tired of fabricating yet? Me neither. Our license plate bracket off that kit's about the only thing we're going to actually use from that. So I would say that was a, great investment for my return here. Woo! Check that out. Puddin, Massachusetts. I thought you were a proud Oklahoman. Why does it say Indiana? Why does it say Massachusetts? Guys, people just sent those to me. I put the one on the back of the stout. Like 1 million people want to know why I had an Illinois or Indiana tag, whatever it said. Just for a little mock-up, guys. I'm not in love with where that's at, but I don't care enough to pick it up any higher. I guess I could have set it off to one of the sides and kind of tucked it up, but you know what? We're going to run it. I think Theo's in the loft doing jumping jacks. I don't know what the hell he's doing up there. You okay up there? Let's lather on some black paint. I was hoping I had more of that Van Sickle black that I brushed on the bed back in the day, and apparently I'm out. Oh, maybe on that side. Hold on. Don't count her out yet. Yes, sir. I remembered. We have some over here in the old kitchen sink. May not be any good, Theodore. Feeling pretty solid. I don't know, she's fine. I just forgot it was it has this self-sealing feature where it'll make its own seal across the top. Simply remove that and you're ready to stir and apply. A good stir stick makes all the difference. I prefer my best flathead screwdriver. Line this up to catch some of our drips. And guys, I'm just gonna take a brush. This stuff has the rust inhibitor. It's the same stuff I brushed on this and it seemed to last all right. And put her on there nice and thick like. The thicker it is, the better chance it has of self-leveling, because we are really worried about the details of this show truck. That new smooth metal, you got to kind of layer it on thick for real, but this stuff that's textured and was all the rusty crap, boy, it's like it just soaks her on up in there. Just spread her on down through. We like that. There she is, guys. That's the only paint we're gonna apply on this thing. None of that crap underneath there is getting painted. If you wanna see her good side, you better get behind her. I didn't mean it like that. Crawled up underneath here, wired them suckers up. These are little magnetic holders there. Those stick to metal and you can zip tie them, that's nice. And yes, I just gave them a tape job. I wanna keep them quick release for easy change for when we break them. Whoo, baby, look at all them lights. Brake lights. Left blinker, right blinker. That ended up being way more work than I expected, but I'm very happy with the result. Get your mud flaps out. We got to install our fuel cell. I've had the same mud flap for probably the last 6-7 years. I've been cutting pieces off. Sometimes you just need a piece of rubber. No measuring, just kind of cut it however would work with our mud flap, and that's going to sit right there. And that's gonna clamp that sucker down, is what that's gonna do. Uh-oh. Strap's gonna need a little clearancing because of this fitting. Perfect. It's nice and solid. All right, now we'll start hooking the sucker up. This one is our supply. It has a pickup tube going down in there. This one should just be our return. And then this one is for our vent, which I only got a cap. I should have got a vent. We'll figure something out. I should have got just another fitting with a barb, because it looks like we have, one's going to be a return, one's going to be a vent that probably went to like a charcoal canister. This one here should be our supply. So I just got to figure out which one of these we need to hook up here. I guess we can get rid of the other fuel cell here. Well, I don't know if that one's going to do as good as this one ever did. There's one line coming up, probably the supply. So where the heck's the return? Oh, look, up here. So one's a return, one's a vent. Let's use a little air and confirm what's what. Y'all watch this for me. She trying to move? Cause it is not happy. Little girl stopped up. Whatever needed to give, gave. Cause it's blowing now. Apparently all these are plugged up. Dang! And plugged up solid, because that's probably 100 PSI that was holding. The lines don't even look bad. They actually look really good. I heard something pop again back here, so I think it's flowing. Look at the crap in the air. Should definitely pop something. This one here had some crap in the end. I think this one's flowing now. Yep, she's trying anyhow. So there we go. We'll use this one as our return. We'll use this as our supply, and who cares about that? Supply, return, who gives a diddly? We're running all new hoses on this stuff. And I remember doing this supply now, or this fuel pump just in general. Woo, a little finicky to get to. We'll get her. Took the filter out of the back, and we're gonna run the filter up here, so if trash comes out of that line, our filter will catch it. By all new hoses, I mean we'll reuse this one because it was new a couple years ago. All hooked up. All hooked up. Shoo, that stinks. Or was that you? I think that was you. I ain't never smelt metal that stinky before. Unless it was me. Get to that age where stuff happens and I don't know what's happening. All right, we're gonna drill a hole in this. That tank for that port has a ball in it, so if it rolls or flips, that ball seals it off. So we'll put that in there. Obviously that ain't good because then crap could fall in there. Well, this is a plug for a valve cover, and it happens to be just the perfect size where if we shoved it on there, it makes a little top hat for that. But it's tight enough where it'll stay on there, but because that is has flat sides and this is round, that should leave plenty of air for that to vent. Told y'all we'd figure something out. Hey, it ain't stupid if it works. Perfect. Don't even look bad. Going through my electrical cabinet, found this. I thought it was one big piece. It's two. We'll try to run this big piece. Hopefully it'll reach. Because we're to the point of running some electricals for the hydraulics. So get your grinder out, because it's time to run some wires. Oh, perfect. Right there. Now luckily, come to find out, there's a massive gap right here where none of that was ever connected on the cab, which is good, because we're gonna run this controller up through there. It's gonna come with all this extra cord, we're gonna utilize it. Y'all see that? Got the extendo cable 1250. What's good about that is you can control it in the truck, don't have to get out. But if you want to get out and stand back and kind of watch, maybe stuff's getting a little crazy, you've got that option. I pulled our piece of aluminum forward, and this was peeled back, but we can kind of shove it back, huh? Yeah, we're going to try to get this sealed up better than what they did. In a situation like this, I like to think, what would my good old pal, Pole Barn Garage do, huh? I mean, let's be honest, guys. Just kind of matches the quality of the rest of the truck. And we don't want no redneck stuff, guys. Like, we don't want to screw that down and cut our cable. So split you a piece of heater hose there, and you make you a nice little rubber sheath for that. Now you're ready to hammer it down. And we want to take care of all wiring, so that green wire, I ran her through our special loom up there. I've lost the fuel gauge, but it's in the shop somewhere. It's better than not having one. We also need to run a ground, so we're going off the chassis there. So y'all thought I left that scrap on there for nothing. Don't worry, we'll put this in some heater hose later too to protect that. That'll ground our sending unit, and we're ready for a gauge inside. Don't do this if there's fuel in there. Well, guys, as y'all know, I only perform high quality work. So when it comes to shady stuff like this, I'm a little rusty. So I hollered at my buddy here, and I just got to kind of show him so he can see, which means I need to flip this camera somehow. Oh boy. We'll be back in 5 minutes. I need some expert advice here. There we go, it's flipped. Well, as you can see right there, maybe, I put a nice jagged one out the back. One on each side where you could hit your left and right hand. Our wires are nice and protected because they're going through the heater hose.
Yes, yeah, that's what that's for.
And then inside, look, professional, nice clamp, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I put the ones going this way too. So you're liable to get stabbed on both sides.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what you want.
What do you think? Does that look like a silicone job or maybe spray foam?
Little, you know, I'd put little liquid nails around the end of that thing, seal it in there, and then fill it up with some expandable foam. You'd be good.
Dang, hit her with a twofer.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's why I called you. I needed the professional advice. It's always good to talk to old Dalton over there, you know. Him suggesting liquid nails got my ideas going, and made me think of an option neither one of us even thought about. Just some good quality Gorilla Tape in case we ever need to add more wiring through there. This will make it quick and easy to do. In fact, since this baby ain't got no carpet, we might as well just run this through here as well. There's already a hole where our gauges and stuff go through. I ran her through there, guys. She is literally the perfect length. So we're gonna go with the ever reliable vice crimp option. Yeah, that's El Permanente. Got our cable mounted, made us a ground to right here. She's good to go. The inside, I just about got her Gorilla taped up, and I ran out right here. I'll have to get some more Gorilla Tape. I've got some Barracuda tape, but everyone knows that Barracuda tape can't hang with the Gorilla. Ran our cable up, put a new little clampy crappy end on here, but at least she's bolted. That should have a good connection. Up next, I'm gonna redo our ground. And we wanna make sure to get a good ground down to the chassis since we grounded that thing off the chassis. Don't worry about that threaded hole right there. No, I ground us a spot. We're gonna weld a bolt down there. Then we'll run us one there. Clean your nozzle. Ground stud. Check. Yeah. Had a nice little pre-made in the cabinet that's gonna work for that one. Wire hydraulics. Check. Good battery. Questionable. Gas gauge. Kinda. Grease. Protect brake lines. Fuel. Weld out. Main thing we need to do is hydraulic lines, guys. So it's past 5 o'clock now this evening. I think first thing tomorrow I'm gonna head to the city, hopefully find what we need so we can get this sucker plumbed up. We'll get her serviced up. We'll cycle it through. Once we make sure that's good, I still got to full weld out this stuff. But we are inching closer. I felt like my eyes just went lazy. Did they? Were they looking all over the place, or is it just me? Good morning. I got what I needed local, and now we're going to try to see if we can't get this thing like we fed at a gas station burrito or something. We're going to try to get it dumping. Had ordered some fittings online, and luckily they came in yesterday at the very end of the day, so I come out here and tried them, and these fit in our cylinder. So these are the SAE number 6. Now the ones that go in the pump, I don't know what they are, but luckily the pump came with these that go from whatever thread that is to a number 6 JIC fitting. So since we had some of them and we have those, then all we need is a number 6 line between them. So I measured up some lines, went to the local parts place this morning, and luckily they had the stuff in stock. Saved me a trip to the city. Went by a wrench supply place, got us some fluid here, and most importantly, check out this bad girl. She was on sale. I stole her for about 12 doll hairs, and the buffalo caught my eye, but even better, baby, she's got the longhorns on her. Now I need to be careful with this because we're gonna save it for a special occasion, maybe next family pictures or something like that. So I put us a 90 in here, 90 in here. For the pump, we only have the option of using straights. So I already put one in this side, and now this one will go in this side. Next up, get our lines on. Now I kind of had to guess on 90s or straights and the length of it, so that may not be the best thing ever, but it'll work. Pop our other line right on. Let's top her off. For this, I just picked up some 32. Well, she's gonna need some more. We're gonna have air to work out of that system and the cylinder and the lines and stuff. Let's get our battery hooked up. And I don't know how charged this battery is, but this jump pack's fully charged, so we're gonna put her on here for a little extra boost. All right, guys, I think we're ready to try. Woo, she's starting to do something. There it goes. There it goes. Weight is off our stands and lift. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much better. One, the amount of dump we're gonna get. Two, look how fast that is compared to the air cylinder or the air pumped hydraulic cylinder. Now, I'm afraid to go too far. Theo, get back. It's for your safety, pal, not mine. That's about probably it. Never mind, it just keeps going. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There it is, that's max dump. Yeah, I think some stuff will slide off of that. Oh, that's a dump bed, guys. Damn. I gotta find my phone and send a picture of that to my dad. He's gonna shit. Let's take it down, make sure everything's clearing, hoses and stuff. Get it all the way down. We probably need to cycle it a couple times, make sure to get the air out the system. Let's see how fast she dumps. Golly. I was trying to do it easy and it got right there at the end and just said slam. So I probably want to adjust on the flow control for down. I don't think the up speed's bad. I think the up's pretty good. The only thing now is we don't really have a good way to brace that sucker as far as getting in here. Yeah, I guess we can go right here. I'm gonna tighten up this, assuming that's gonna slow us down when we come down. We are gonna have to get some flow controls. Because the ones built into the unit do not work. I've got them both ran in all the way, and it still goes just as fast going up and down pretty much. And that coming down is dangerous, and that last 12 inches, trying to get it set down without slamming is pert near impossible. So maybe we can put some in line with our hoses and be able to manipulate it in the future. For now, at least it goes through the motions pretty well from what I can tell. So I think we need to lock everything in and weld it up. With everything up top welded up, we still got a couple things left on the bottom, but I see an issue. That cross member is starting to curve in just from the weight of that on that already. Uh-oh. So we're gonna put a plate on this and then weld something between that to that, so as that tries to bow in, it hits that cross member too. Ow! Oh! That lift will hurt your head every time. We're not gonna get too accurate right here. This is gonna be some of that guesstimation fabrication. The scrap cabinet never disappoints. Cut down a piece of that 1/2-inch plate, weld her on. Had to cut that at a little bit of an angle, as you can see, but no big deal. Weld her in, guys. That'll reinforce that. All right, guys, that's the rest of everything on the bottom welded up. I went ahead and greased our pins, our hinges. I've done everything we need to do. Zip tied cables, crap like that. Just make sure everything should be good to go. We're kind of to the point we need to put some fuel in this thing and try firing her up again. Last thing to fab up was some type of safety, and as you guessed it, straight from the scrap cabinet. We got a piece of pipe there and one welded down there. Got some nice thick DOM here. Of course, we get better flow controls, this will be easier. But even that right there, just something in there as a safety device when we go to fill it up. That's gonna be nice, guys. And now we've got a cheater pipe to keep on the truck as well, which will come in handy. Let's give her a few gallons of fuel. She's a thirsty gal. Now I know what you're thinking, Puddin', what the hell are you supposed to do with that big old piece of pipe now? Well, one, you could fit it behind the seat. Two, this came with that piece welded on there, I do believe, aka our pipe holder. Took the toolbox off, got the crane strapped. I'm ready to get this thing running because I am ready to see if this thing can handle any weight at all when it's time to dump. I'm actually a little nervous, guys, that it ain't gonna do so good. Fired right up like she wants to run. Woo, got some nice clear fuel going to her. Hey Clyde, it's Puddin'. What's going on? I got another job for you. Yeah, man, I'm just too scared to do it myself. I need a professional. Be there shortly. Sounds good, man. I'll see you soon. Oh hell, there he is. Yoo-hoo! Hey, Pete Tang, Clyde Smith here, baby. What can I do you for? Here she is, Clyde, a little Toyota, 1 ton, made her a dump bed. I just need a professional driver who knows to work something like that. Yes, sir, 1 ton Toyota indeed. Let me guess, motorhome conversion. Fun fact, Clyde Smith was made in one of these, man. This warms my heart. I'm absolutely honored that you called me to do this job. You see, Puddin', I actually put on my nice shirt because I just had a feeling it was a special occasion. She's real nice, has 1 pearl snap. I'll tell you, Puddin', she feels like a good one already. I can see you did the Weber with the miniature tunnel ram. Great for torque, you're gonna appreciate that. Looks like we got the mud tires all the way around. Looks like you've done some solid work on this one. Shit! Nice seat covers and door panels, you went all out. She smells like she'll haul. Nice little homemade crane, I see. Let me take a look. Oh hell, you got her set up good. I don't know why you're nervous. Let old Clyde get her. I'm gonna put a load on this sucker and I can guarantee you she'll dump like she had that ultimate meat and cheese burrito from the Sonic with the extra sauce. Oh yeah, yeah, she's a getter. Give me the keys and I'll get her hauled, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Little 22R, these babies, they run smooth. Oh yeah, she'll whip, she'll whip. Woo, yeah! Now this rig will drive, but we need to get some weight on the back of it. Let's load some metal, baby. Yeah! 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 Clyde Smith's been hitting the gym. Oh, Puddin said he need this area cleaned up with the scrap metal. Well, I'm a scrap hauling machine. I say that represents a decent load for if someone was cleaning up around their place and was ready to haul off. By my guesstimate, we got at least 7,600 pounds on the back. Now in our hypothetical haul-off situation here, we're going to the scrap yard. Me and Dad don't quite have the truck legal yet to be on the road, or we'd go to the scrap yard. So right here is our makeshift scrap yard next to our scrap yard chassis. Well, let's take her to the scrap yard. Don't worry about no rain. We don't need no stinking windshield wipers, guys. Let's take her for a lap here and see how she feels. I don't even know if I put any weight back there because I can't feel it. See how she feels going down the hill, a little side load with all the weight in the back. She feels good, real good. Let's take her for a dump. Oh yeah, baby. She don't even know that load's there. Load, haul. No load's too big, no load's too small. Clyde Smith can haul them all, baby. One thing Clyde wants to know is, can he do a wheelie with that bed up all the way? Not quite. We probably don't want to break it anyhow. Get Clyde out of here before Clyde tears stuff up. Well, guys, she seems to do pretty dang good. Have I mentioned how much I hate rain? If y'all watch this channel, y'all know I hate rain. I am soaked in rain. Clean y'all off. I do apologize if water was getting on the lens. Few things I noticed. It was idling really high. Ever since we swapped this sucker, that's kind of been sticky. So I just put us a spring on there to help pull that down. Inside looks a little sloppy. Sloppy shifter boot, unprofessional. Self-tapered shifter boot, very professional. Headliner hanging, not good enough. Full Bluetooth headliner, perfect. And the creme de la creme, as they say. Gotta have her mounter. Yeah, a little hold down. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. Now we're in business. No, we're not. Dang it. Good enough. Last thing I can think of she needs is a way to hold down the bed to keep her from bouncing. Now, I know we could come up with some elaborate pin system, but guys, if you're working, hauling trees on your own property, you really don't got to worry about pinning it. Once you get a load on there, you're taking it to your dump site. For now, we'll do a custom length ratchet strap, where if you need to go to town or whatever, you can just make sure she's cinched down where she don't do the old bounce around on you. Feels nice and questionable. We'll take it. Guys, I don't want to build a pin system yet because I want to be able to keep an eye on how that bed keeps sitting down and make sure it's kind of going to the same spot. And plus, that just looks good. Much better idle. Call me needy and gritty, guys, but I need more action than that. Guess we'll see if we can't test these mud tires, huh? We may come out here and get stuck. y'all think about that? I like that better as a test to see if she's, you know, worthy or not. Even going through that mud, guys, that right there, she's two-wheel drive, but with all that weight on the back and them decent tires, now trust me, we couldn't creep through that. It took a little momentum, but I'm still pretty happy with that. The real question is, can this stuff dump this? Got her strapped down decent. I don't want to lose the whole load. We may lose a straggler or two. All right, guys, moment of truth. Oh, I forgot I had it strapped. It ain't strapped no more. It also picks up a lot easier when it's not strapped. I bet we could go do a wheelie now. There she is, guys. She's all the way. It ain't even struggling with that. I mean, that's a decent amount. You could fit double that, or, you know, not so much brush, maybe another big tree cut up with the bigger ones. It would be just fine. This thing is going to be a hauling machine. And hell, we didn't even drop a twig hardly. That's about the sketchiest part. Hell, we turned the key on. I set her back down. I want pictures of it dumping out in the field. Let's see how she handles the hill with weight. Guys, that right there is why that carburetor swap did matter. Because if we had the factory on it, it would have died. We'd been rolling backwards or coming to a stop. You know what I mean. It wouldn't have been that good. I promise you that. Man, this thing's just selling, guys. Feels pretty dang good. I had to send Dad a video of it dumping. He's excited. What a great little truck. What a great little truck. Some of y'all can still hate on the mini trucks. This thing's tough. See how easy it does it when it ain't strapped? Check this out. It's got magnets on it that work real good, as you can tell. Well, I think we're pretty much gonna wrap up here, guys. Ooh, I found a little hidey hole. Wonder what's been living in there. I'm so happy with how this thing is turning out, or has turned out. I'm so happy we swapped from that air cylinder. This is just, I mean, it's a home run deal, I think. That wind's picked up even more, so let's get up to the shop to close out the video. Will Puddin Pops is gonna have some cleaning to do. His truck sure is muddy. That thing just dookied. As far as letting it down, if you stop way above that and then try to like ease it down, it's actually worse than if you just let that kind of control it until it gets right there, then let off. Let's see if I can do decent here. See? Slammy. I'm not saying that was smooth. I'm just saying if you start trying to ease it, it like really gets to jerking it and slamming it and probably ain't good for it. Of course, back up here, I had to dump her just where I can admire it, guys. Now, I just roughly added everything up in my head from the time we originally bought it out of the junkyard, not really knowing much about it, to where we're at right now. And around, I think we're around like $2,200 with everything you see it as right now. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked up a hydraulic dump kit for a bed or a trailer. If you buy a kit, they're usually around $1,500 themselves. Anyhow, to be in the tires and just everything, I'm really happy with that. Now I understand that you ain't gonna build one for $400. Well, you could, but you're gonna be, you know, salvaging parts for a while or whatever. But to be $2,200 into that and for it to be functioning as good as it seems to be functioning, guys. So I'm gonna leave all that stuff on there, and the first time we drive it out to Dad's, we can dump that stuff out at his place where I ain't gotta pile it up around here. Dad, I'll trade you a pile of brush for the Toyota. Or actually, no, I'm not trading for. You take both. It's a hell of a deal, Dad. You get that truck back, but you gotta take the brush with it. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. I know there's a lot of fabrication, and sometimes the fabricating gets old, but guys, are repetitive, I guess. It's just cutting and welding. But I couldn't be happier with how that turned out. If you would like to continue to support Puddin's Fab Shop, a great way to do it is puddinsfabshop.com. I believe we still got some Datsun and Toyota Stout shirts and stuff in stock. You know, I'm hoping to sell a few more today, where maybe I can get me some new Skechers, because I about wore those ones out. I'm also going to need probably a couple extra dollars to get some toe fungus removal kits. after that sets in on my toes down there, yeah, I need to get wrapped up where I can get cleaned up. I also forgot I had stitches on this, and this hand's a little wet, which probably ain't good for incisions or whatever they call that. No, lacerations. Laceration. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're on the Facebooker. We're on the Patreon. And much other than that, guys, I cannot thank y'all enough for being here. I hope y'all enjoyed. I can't wait to get this to Puddin Pops. I will see y'all in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. A good stir stick makes all the difference. I prefer... Redo. A good stir stick makes all the difference. I prefer. Gosh darn it. Boy, I scored the sweetest damn shirt at Atwood's this morning, Chris. This baby is gold.